Welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Cara DeFalco along with Mike Favetta. May is officially Mental Health Awareness Month. Here to explain its importance from the Mental Health Center Passaic is Director of Human Resources Melissa Cantata and Director of the Family Center and Community Care Programs Alex Descalzi. Good morning, Melissa and Alex.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks so much for being here. So why is it so important to bring awareness to mental health?
I think that at the center, we try to bring awareness to mental health to support our community and our families, particularly the children in northern New Jersey. Our nonprofits have been in existence for 57 years, so we've been doing this a long time. 57 years ago, mental health wasn't really even talked about. So one of the missions and one of the things that we strive to do is really break that stigma around mental health, because we all need mental health and wellness in our lives. And so that's something we really strive to do for our families in northern New Jersey.
And we want people to know that they don't have to suffer alone through whatever stressors, whatever problems, whatever that they're going through, that they will have someone that can listen to them and help them through it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that you guys, kind of reference when you started, 57, almost 60 years ago. Now, I literally just had a conversation with a friend of mine about how there is such a stigma among, in our words, our parents' generation of, you don't talk about these things, you don't say anything. There really was such a shame around it. So to be active in that for this long, to start to bring awareness to it, what a wonderful thing. So tell us a little bit more about the agency. What programs do you offer?
So we have several programs. We have outpatient, which provides individual, family, provides psychiatric, individual and family counseling, psychiatric, evaluations, medication monitoring. We provide trauma counseling. And then we also have a children's program. We have what's called the partial cares, which provides services for children 2.5 to 11 years old. This particular program is for children who are exhibiting behavioral and emotional difficulties at home, in the classroom, having difficulties in the community. We have several locations around in Clifton and Passaic. And in addition, we also work with the Passaic School District to also provide support in the classes. Melissa can tell you more about that.
So we are very heavily invested in the city of Passaic throughout the school system. We have our school-based youth services program, which is simply what it sounds like. Our counselors are located within the schools, elementary, middle, and high schools in Passaic. Children are referred to us because unfortunately nowadays guidance counselors are very bogged down with paperwork and things of that nature, that counseling piece that once used to be there is no longer there. And so our school-based counselors have offices within the school, and they take referrals for students that need a little bit of support. And our school-based programs also have a few subsets to them. So we have a pregnancy prevention program that works with students in Passaic High School to help them build healthy relationships. We also have a prevention of juvenile justice program that works with students who have either committed a first offense, are gang involved, or are at risk for being part of the juvenile justice system. And our counselors work in conjunction with the Passaic Police Department to support these youth in the schools. We're very heavily invested in after school programming. Statistically, the hours between 3 and 6 are the most vulnerable in an urban city. And so we've partnered with the Passaic Board of Education for over 25 years with after school programs. And lastly, we have our Baby Steps program. Our executive director years ago purchased a house across the street from Passaic High School and turned that building into a daycare specifically for the teen parents at Passaic High School. And the mission of that program is so that the teen parents can achieve their high school diploma. And they receive free childcare and parenting groups. And that's located directly across the street. So they bring their children in the morning, they walk right across the street for their classes, knowing that their children are safe, and they pick them up at the end of the day.
Wow.
Now, say there was someone that we encounter, we suspect might need some mental help. What are some tips that we can use? Refer them, or what are some, general suggestions that you could give to someone watching?
Go ahead, Alex.
What's important, to validate, let them know that you are, you're want to be able to provide and support and encourage them to feel open to talk about what's going on in their lives or what it is that's happening with them. Encouraging them by letting them know that there are, tools out there that they can use to help themselves. And that's where, professional, come into place, speaking to a therapist that can not only listen, but also guide via, providing coping skills, resilient tools, and that psychoeducation, right? An understanding of why this is happening, why this is affecting them. And so, just kind of like that understanding that they're not alone, that they have, the support of you, they have the support of their family, and then they can have the support of a professional that can guide them through them. A lot of the issues with mental health is that people will say, well, talk about it, it's not going to get better. And so, yeah, like things will not get, like, we can't resolve obviously like all of the environmental stressors happening, but we can give you the tools so that you don't have to like suffer through the process. We can help you, at least give you the skills that you will need to be able to get through this episode. It's kind of like you want to ride the wave, right? And so why should you have to drown alone?
That's right. I love the way that you just said that, because I think even just for I'll just share my own personal thing. I think one of the best things I've gotten out of therapy is just to have that third party to look at you and go, yeah, that's a really normal thought. Or of course you feel that way. And it's really just that validation, because I think when we're in our heads about it and we're not talking, we're kind of punishing ourselves, going, I shouldn't think this way. I shouldn't feel this way. I should be able to handle this on my own. And so to just have that sounding board even, can sometimes be enough to go, no, that's a really normal thing, and it makes you
Absolutely.
feel better about it, right? So like you said, you're not drowning in it alone. Clearly this is a mission that is important to both of you. What has brought each of you here to help? What inspires you?
So I started in the agency as an intern. I've been here 17 years. And so in my process of learning and the experience of also seeing the agency grow, the inspiration for me has been opening the door for future mental health therapists and giving them the opportunity to grow and learn. So one of the things that I help with at the agency now is training interns, and the supervisors who work in the internship program were also interns themselves. So we know what it was, the struggles it was, kind of like navigating the field, like understanding, going from students to actual, mental health professionals. What does that transition look like? How to get ready for not only just like job preparedness, but how to meet the needs of the population that they're going to be working with. How to identify, their strong suits, their niche. How to identify the areas that they may be not best suited to work, and then they may want to like, where can they best focus. And so kind of like creating that, just like we validate and normalize, working through mental health, stressors and concerns for students in the field of mental health field. It's also important, the same thing, to normalize and help them understand, like, hey, like, you're going to be great working with this population. It's okay if during your internship that population didn't connect well with you, or you didn't feel like you were well with them. And that's what the mental health, internship does. We do here for the students, where we want to prepare them to truly understand the needs of each individualized population, what it would look like to provide those needs, and make sure that they leave here being able to work within the scope of their training, and not like undertake things that they're probably not trained to yet, where they may be able to, sometimes cause more harm than help.
Hmm.
So, in terms of just creating a system that educates and helps like the next generation that's going to take over, right? Because that's where we always want to look into the future. And so, what future always looks like, who's going to take over the mantle? How do we give them the tools, they themselves as well, to learn to what they need to help out the population? And then, growing with the population as well, right? Because what would help like 20 years ago doesn't really help as much, because everything has changed so much, right? We have so many
Right.
different tools, so many different stressors, so many different outlooks, so many much more, what do you call, life issues that are affecting all of us globally, right? And so how do we incorporate all that, and then just, create a safe space for everybody to be able to, to grow, learn, and feel like they can do this.
Well, Melissa Cantata and Alex Descalzi of the Mental Health Center of Passaic, thank you so much for joining us. MPCH is the website.org, and we'll send our viewers there to learn more.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, good stuff. I mean, it's just so critical, and like she said, as times change and things move on, it's just it's needed more and more.
Yes, yes. And that was mhcp.org. Pardon me.
Yes.
Got a little little carried away with the letters. Well, we have so many more things coming up on the show. I hear we have some new restaurants to try.
That's what I hear as well. We're going to show you a couple new spots that you can check out.